And hello, guys. I am back, and I'm glad that we're starting fresh here. I try to keep these about 10 minutes for what I want to talk about next. And I'm very passionate about this. And if you know me, I'm very outspoken on some things, and I'm going to be very outspoken on this. I, I tell you guys everything and how I feel. I was very happy. I was very elated. I felt very proud. I never really say that a lot when I saw this rule book. And I greatly thank Ray, my project manager, for sending this. I want to, first of all, they have something there in, it's not Mandarin. I know like their dialect they speak is Mandarin. So I think that's called Hanzai, right? Is that their, like this little message thing here? I think their alphabet system there is called Hanzai. Someone please correct me if I'm wrong, but I think I'm right. So I'm not sure what that says. But maybe someone out there that can read Hanzai, you can tell me. But going back to this rule book, the Crusader's Handbook, I'm really proud of. And here's why. If you guys have known this journey, you know I've shown you everything. This was one of the most time-consuming aspects of this project. And it took me, I started at the beginning of January when I sat down and said, okay, I'm going to, put the final rule book together. And if you know me, I get into everything. And I was very hell-bent on creating an awesome rule book for everyone for this game. To make it very detailed, to make it very well structured, to go into great depth, to explain this game. Because as the creator, that's my job, that's my responsibility, to make sure you have all the information for this game. And I don't care what anyone says. If it was too long-worded, whatever, my heart went into that rule book because I wanted to give people, a little piece of me in there where I made it, kind of like how I talk. I made it very personal, and I'll never go back on that. So I just really wanted to say that. I took the time to create that over 6 months. I do not exaggerate that. It took 6 months from January to the end of June to finish this rule book. And I did it all on my own. Of course, I had the awesome Charlene, the tech writer. She went over some stuff and, wait, Roger, say it like this. She cut some of it out. And then another friend of mine went over it also, and a few other people looked at it. And the one friend of mine is a huge gamer, and he said, you really, for a first-time creator, this is, beyond exceptional. And I hate glowing about myself. This is someone else. But I'm proud of this because I took the time and I created an awesome rule book. So, sorry to be so long-winded about that, but I wanted to get that out. We're going to look at another photo of this. And so I just want to let you know I felt very, happy with this and proud. And especially when you see a couple pages how it turned out. Because I've never seen any of this before, This here is the back. See, like this map of Avalon? This is the back of the scenario book, and we're going to be looking at the scenario book also. So that's what that is. So let's look at this. This is when I was like, wow, this looks incredible. I've never seen it in this, but this is, I believe that's Ray, flipping open the rule book. And I really like the format that I came up with for this. If you notice, see how it's got like this tattered texture background here? I asked the amazing Freddie Lopez way back when, can you make me a parchment paper background and make, the edges like tattered, or worn or faded. And he did a fantastic job. And just from the course of doing this game, notice how there's some wear marks on it. But I didn't want too much because then if it's too dark, you can't read the text. But look how great this came out. And this page, well, this is page 26. That's page 27. There's the gems down there with the numbers in it I put. But this is the crafting and mining section of the rulebook, and then it goes into the 6 warfare types in Avalon. But this is the first time I saw actually the rulebook, the final rulebook coming together, and I thought this really looks incredible. And I did all the graphic design on it, as in putting it all together. I took all the art that the amazing artist did, so I don't want to act like I created the art because, they did all that. But I created the graphic design and made all this, the whole format. And I think it it looks incredible, and I'm proud of this, and I'm very happy for you guys to read this, and I think you're going to have a really good time with it. I made it very thematic, and explains everything in this game. I left no stone unturned. I think you're going to have a really good time with that. So, there is the Dungeon Crusade Rulebook, or the Crusader's Handbook. So again, thank you, Ray, for sending this to me. Oh, I jumped a page ahead. We're getting to that. Looks really great. And here is a few pages of the scenario book. And this is something we're going to be going over. Remember we just talked about the keys in the game in the other video? Well, this is something we're also going to be going over when we get the proof copy. That, and I've not really touched on this a lot, but we're looking at here Scenario 3, An Onslaught of Evil, and Scenario 4, Welcome to Castle Blackwood. So Scenario 4 is going to be your introduction to the Castle Blackwood dungeon board. But and then there's some other stuff in the background here. Here's another Crusader's Handbook from them. And again, I just greatly thank them for sending those pictures, so so I could share all this with you. But one of the things that people asked, and hopefully this doesn't go into another video, but I want to explain this for you, and I hope you don't mind me explaining all this for you. Well, here we can see the name of it here, and of course I wrote a setup, the flavor text to get you into the mood of getting into Castle Blackwood. But a lot of people say, well, is there a campaign in this game? And for those of you who have been with me for a while, I think you see that I really took a different path than what most games did, because I wanted to do something that was very innovative for people and very creative. And so there's not a campaign per se, but what you're going to experience is it's going to be a highly enriching and thematic experience. I mean highly thematic. Because if you consider, remember the Avalon Adventure board game? You're going to experience that first if you play that first. You don't have to, but hopefully you do. You're going to learn about the land of Avalon. And then you're going to, bring your heroes from that game into Dungeon Crusade. And then you see right here, these are the quest tables. Down at the bottom, if you can make this out, let me zoom in a little more. See where it says Kill the Guardians? Well, that's always there. But notice that there's 6 unique quests here. You're going to pull those quest cards. Those are what's going to tell you how to set up the scenario. So all of them are like that. So then, and we're going to get into this here. This is, to me, I think, a very innovative system that you've never really seen in a dungeon crawl board game. This offers you 3 different game modes and 6 different difficulties. So we actually might have to go into another video if you really want to hear about all of this. But, so if you picture this, you have these 6 different quests here, and of course, Kill the Guardians. Those are like the boss creatures. That's kind of like Dungeon Crusade's version of a campaign, meaning the Avalon Adventure board game, you're going to experience all of this 259 pieces of creative writing with, battles and exploring, going in the villages. In the Avalon Adventure board game, then you're going to come in and experience all of these quests. Meanwhile, leveling up your heroes from level 1 to level 3 and experiencing monsters from levels 1 to level 4. That is Dungeon Crusade's campaign, and I think it's very innovative. And it does something different for people. That's the big thing. And what I was after, to give people something new to enjoy. And not something that was the same old, same old. And again, I'll never go back on that. That's what I wanted to do for people. So maybe we'll do, I'm going to probably save this till we get the games, because I want to explain, I really want to spend some time with this and show you how much replayability, how random this game you could make this game, and how you could tweak all of this different stuff. And I'll explain what the dice are. You may already know all this stuff, but real quickly, if you create like a custom game, all of these different entries, you're going to roll a d6, and you can jot them down on a piece of paper. That way, it's a random game. It's kind of almost like a PC RPG dungeon crawl game, where, it's going to generate, that's a good word, generate a new dungeon experience for you every time. And I put a lot of thought and, ingenuity into this for people, and I think you're really going to enjoy that. You know what? We're going to wrap it up here, I think. But so here's what's going on, guys. I have to go and do a few things. I got to compile these videos. I will return